What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the garage build series that I've currently been doing. So we've knocked out the floors, we built this workbench, it's slowly starting to come together. We got rid of a lot of stuff, which makes a lot more room in the garage, which is awesome because I can leave the garage door down a lot more, but it gets super hot in here. So today we're gonna be tackling some insulation on the garage door, as well as trying to add a AC unit to a window that I have in the garage. I looked a lot into doing a mini split in the garage, but decided to go with the AC unit just to try it out to see if that was enough to cut down on the heat, because I don't really mind how cold it gets here because it doesn't get too cold and you can just throw a sweatshirt on, you can continue to work in the garage and you don't really have to worry about how cold it is. It's mostly the heat that I really don't like. So I was able to get the window unit for a lot cheaper than you can do a mini split, but if this doesn't work, I will probably go to the more efficient mini split in the future. Now, my garage is pretty much your typical attached garage that you'll see on most houses, where one wall is insulated and then the other three are not, and the attic is not really insulated at all above here. It is on the house side, but as soon as you get over here, they didn't put any insulation in here. So you're definitely better off, if you can, and you have the money for it, insulating everything that you can in the attic. If you can get it, like the spray stuff in the walls, it's definitely going to be your best bet to keep it cool. But with how thin the garage door actually is, it's going to make a big difference just being able to insulate that. From everything that I've read, definitely helps out a lot. So this is what I have to actually insulate it. So this is 2-inch thick Polypro insulation board that I picked up from Lowe's. You can buy it in 4x8 sheets, which I recommend because it is the cheapest. It was about $24 per sheet, so right at $100 for all 4 sheets, and that's more than enough to do the entire garage door, which is your typical 2-car garage door. I think it's 16 feet wide by about 7 feet tall. So like I said, 3 wasn't enough, and 4 leaves you with quite a bit of excess. I'll have about 4 feet of excess, but it's not that bad because this stuff is pretty cheap. I also picked up some aluminum tape so I can secure it a little bit better to the door instead of just shoving it in the cracks. But that is a perfectly reasonable way to do it, and it seems like it's pretty secure. Now, before I actually get into the whole insulation thing, I am going to throw this window unit into the door that you can see behind me because it is very hot in my garage right now. Garage door's down, so it's pretty warm. And I'd like to get this thing in so it can start cooling it down while I'm in here working with the garage door down, installing all that stuff. And then we'll come back and actually see how well this thing does. Now, I did kind of size up with the window unit. It is a 1-ton unit or 12,000 BTU, which says it's good enough for about 550 square feet. This garage is only about 350 square feet. So hopefully it can keep up with the demands of how hot it is going to be. I really just wanted to take the humidity out and like take a little bit of the edge off of the heat. Like if it can get it to where it's like a solid 78, 75 degrees, that would be amazing, and that would be awesome to work in. I would be way more willing to get a lot of my projects done. So hopefully this thing works. Anyway, we're gonna start installing this. You can see I already pulled off the inside trim for the window. So now we just need to pop out the whole window. I'm just gonna make a plywood piece that fits that. That is the rough size of that window. And then there's gonna be 2 plywood pieces pretty much sandwiching the door and screwed together, and that's going to be what's actually going in the window, blocking the hole and mounting that too. Probably make more sense when you actually see it happen, so I'm just going to get to work. So I had to run to the store real quick and grab some longer screws because the way that I was mounting it was just like using the 2 pieces of plywood to squeeze it together. I didn't have long enough screws to do that. So we got it mounted. It's all right now. You can definitely hear it behind me. It's been running for about an hour because I let it run while I went to the store. And it's definitely cooler in the garage. I don't have a temperature gauge, thermometer, if it's the right word to use. I'm gonna let it run for about an hour or so more. And then we'll come back and see exactly how it feels. I'm gonna try to find something so I can kind of get like a ambient temperature and actually see what kind of a difference it's making, because it's like 89, 90 degrees outside right now with about 90% humidity, so it's pretty warm out. I was dying doing that install on it, and right now the garage is actually comfortable in here. So based on the meat thermometer that we've got, it's cooled down here about 6 degrees in an hour and a half. Overall, it's been running for about 2.5 hours. I started it at 5. It's about 7:30 right now. When I initially grabbed that thermometer from the house, it read 77. Right now it reads 78 in here. So it's probably right around 75 in here because the house is 74 degrees. So it's definitely doing a great job for how hot it was when it started, because it was 5 o'clock. As hot as it could be, the sun was still up and just starting to go down. The attic was super hot, and in here was really hot. And I opened the garage door twice while it was running. So it's done really well. I'm super happy for it, and it should do even better once we insulate the garage door. So it's the next day. We're gonna knock out the insulation on the garage door because you can definitely feel that the heat is radiating off of that pretty bad. We definitely need to get that knocked out so this AC doesn't have to work super hard. It's been going for a couple hours because I turned it on when I got home from work. It's kind of later in the afternoon. It's about 86, 88-ish outside. Humidity is about 90%, so it's pretty stinking warm with the humidity too. But it's comfortable in here. It's probably about 76, 77 degrees, and it's set at 75. But we're gonna try to knock that out super quick, start trimming up all these panels, get them in there, get it taped up, and then hopefully we'll see a big difference, because you can definitely feel the heat radiating off that door right now. All right, the garage door is completely done. I take that back. It's not completely done. Like I said, I still need some tinfoil tape, and that's just to make it look a little prettier, try to help hold in a little bit more of the heat onto that side, kind of fill in some of the cracks. I'll probably get 2 more rolls, clean it all up, make it look pretty good. But overall, super simple. You don't even really need the tape. You can just shove them in there and it will stay perfectly fine because there's enough pressure on them. It's just kind of to make it look a little bit neater. Hopefully the styrofoam won't break as easily, like if I accidentally kick it or hit it with something, because the edges aren't exposed right now. It'll probably still break super easily, like if I hit something. But as you can see, I've got the hurricane bars on the door, so that kind of made it a little bit harder, but it was really easy to just kind of slide it behind it, and there was pretty much a really tight fit between it because that 2-inch stuff was perfect for my door. Now you probably noticed that I did cover the windows in the top of my garage. I wanted it as insulated as possible. Kind of sucks because I have now no natural light in here because the window unit is now taking up all the window that used to be in that door, and then the garage door is completely blocked as well. And that provided a lot of light if I was working during the day. So that leads me to the next project that we're going to be doing, and that is going to be adding more lights to the garage. It's already pretty good in here, but you can kind of see that there's a lot of shadows, and it makes it really hard to do like welding projects when you have a hood on, or just anything under a car when you kind of get in like the back of the car away from all the lights. There's a lot of shadows, makes it really difficult. So we're going to add a lot more light, and it's going to be super bright in here. Hopefully you liked the video. If you did, drop a like down below. I would super appreciate it. Let me know what you think of the garage build currently. If you have any ideas for what I should do, drop it in the comments below. I love reading your guys' stuff, and it definitely helps with the motivation to keep these videos going. But with that, I'm going to end this video, so I'll see you guys with the next video coming out.